This is my SRAD. It costs roughly £1,500 and I've probably spent a couple of grand on it, and it's still a bit of a shed. This isn't the shed. This is the Team Classic Suzuki SRAD, and it probably costs circa 35, 40 grand, and I'm gonna ride it. Well, here she is, sports fans. We made it. Suzuki Live, prime spot in the paddock. Arrived very late, so here we are. The maiden voyage, the rebirth. Again, apologies for the screen. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. It won't happen again, but there's a lot to look forward to today. I'm going to ride some few classics and really get stuck in. So yeah, going to go do some sighting laps. I'm not scared, I'm a little bit nervous. I would have really liked to have ridden it on the road, done a bit of a shakedown, but it's all good, it's all good. We know the prep's on point at JHS, and a little gentle wobble around and get the teething problems out of the way, if there are any. I don't think there are, be fine, be mint, be fine. Mint young'un. There's that famous old Performance Bike magazine sticker from years ago. Run it round the block to see if the wheels fall off. And that's exactly what I did. Although we ran the bike on the JHS dyno to ensure it actually worked, there's nothing like spanking it on track, so the first few laps were spent short shifting through gritted teeth and praying we'd make it to the end of the session. But it felt sublime, and mechanical sympathy soon went out the window. I mean, I'm so surprised it all worked properly. Not just, you know, the fact that it's been in a million pieces for the last couple of years and this is its maiden voyage, but obviously, for those of you who don't know, I bought this bike for £1,500. It was a bit of a shitter. I didn't really know at the time. And we've got these K5, K6 forks and brakes. I did that to get some nice brakes. People are a little bit upset that I haven't kept with the theme and with the 90s theme, and I've got on radial brakes, but Sodom. Obviously got the matching caliper, and we have the Nitron shock. Now, I honestly thought that with all this, I'd have to do a bit of work on setup, but honestly, it feels better than ever. I can't tell you how strong this engine is. I mean, I haven't ridden it since we put the exhaust on, and wow. I mean, it is an animal. It's brutal. There's a fair bit of work to do with the throttle, I think. We can't really map it. I think we have to do something, I don't know, something else. James can work his magic, because yeah, it's fierce, but it's bloody quick. Here he is.
Oh, what an absolute delight and pleasure.
It's my mate Saint.
My fellow Jigsaw boy.
How you doing, mate?
Really good. Yeah? Really good.
I see you've got a tent up.
I've been pitching a tent for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
That's what riding a 750 does for you, though, isn't it?
Ladies' tool. How is it?
Amazing. Amazing. As you may know, I bought this as a crash damaged.
Yeah.
And riding it here for the first time, and it is just perfect. I haven't even changed the suspension. Bog standard suspension, sticky tyres.
See, I followed you out, but you were gone earlier.
I?
Yeah, you were gone, mate. You were just gone. Yeah,
once an MRO champion, always an MRO champion, I suppose.
Looking good, mate. Looking
Cheers,
good.
Man,
I cannot believe how much shit I'm getting for the blue screen. I genuinely, I knew it would be bad, but not this bad. This is bad. This is bad scales. I honestly, it's not my fault. It's not my choice. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. that was the most fun I've had on track in a long time. Not taking it seriously, not chasing temps, not worrying about who's overtaking, just enjoying the literal vibes of the SRAD. I mean, I'm now going to make a few suspension changes. We're in the, you know, we got up to speed. We've gone past the warm-up stage. The bike feels absolutely exquisite. So, just going to check tyre pressures again, do some suspension tweaks, do one more session, and then we're going to go out on the Team Classic Suzuki SRAD. So I'll probably not want to get back on this bike afterwards. So here we are leaving pit lane, and I'm still on the Bridgestone T32s, which are a brilliant sports touring tyre, but also if you've got no paddock stands or tyre warmers, which I didn't, then it's a brilliant tyre to take on track, and you don't have to worry about getting heat in the tyres. It takes less than half a lap. And here we are a lap later, I've got some heat in the tyres up to the business end. Like I said, I cannot get over how strong this engine is. This is the first time I tried the K5000 exhaust, which bolts straight onto the 750. Need a little bit of love for the belly pan. Otherwise that went straight on, and even a mug like me could do that. So, and like I said, I was a little bit worried about the geometry and how the bike would be affected by all the sort of parts I've chucked on as a bit of a trigger's broom, but absolutely no worries. It just handled superbly. And down this straight, one of the fastest bikes at the all weekend pretty much down this straight. And though those of you remember the original Budget Bike Battle bike, I had some shocking brakes on there, but again, we finally got some brakes that actually work into Chris's curve. And again, those of you remember the original Budget Bike Battle bike at Almeria, it was horrendous. The shock was like a set of dinner ladies' tits, had no damping at all. But this thing holds a line superbly, and through the gooseneck, absolutely loved it through here. I need to bleed the brakes a little bit, there's still some air in there, but apart from that, the bike felt nearly perfect. Just catching up to some other riders here, probably on race tyres, but I'm on the old Bridgestone T32s, and the corner speed of the SRAD is coming into its own. Had some ground clearance issues. Again, I need to sort out the belly pan. It needs a little bit of love to tidy up. Maybe jack up the Nitron shock a little bit more to help with ground clearance and agility. But honestly, I cannot express just how good this bike feels. For it wasn't a rush job. Well, it was a rush job to get ready for Cadwell, but I'm so glad that we came through unscathed, no issues whatsoever, and I cannot wait for the next instalment, whatever that may be. What's up?
What's this?
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
I've got a few blue bolts, but I can live with that.
You've got stubby levers.
Yeah, they can go as well.
The MotoGP sticker.
Yeah.
And the blue bolts.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this. It's not blue.
Mike Armitage, legends, road tester extraordinaire, magazine editor. What else? Can you just repeat what you just told me, because that was one of the most amazing quotes I've ever heard.
1998 start of, or end of 97, Performance Bikes magazine. John Robinson did a test of the then new GSXR 750 SRAD, first injected one, and the last paragraph said that the GSXR exists to extinguish fire blades and remind the 916 that it's only a twin. And I've wanted one ever since, and that's why I bought one.
You bought one?
I bought one, yeah.
And this is a 98?
98, yeah.
Firstly injected?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
See you on track.
I doubt it.
Thanks for me.
No, these are Primark specials.
Mate, that's a brave colour to wear. I couldn't wear
No,
that.
I don't. That's why I'm using them as visor cleaner, because, yeah, skidders. Easy to show skidders. Ask my wife, I don't wear white boxes either.
So, what's going on? What have we got here then?
SRAD 750. This is the bike I rode in South Africa beginning of the year.
Carl Army,
and East London. Yeah.
Around Carl Army must have been ridiculous.
4 seconds off the outright lap record on that.
No.
Yeah, on this whole beast.
Hey, you be steady on it, Danny.
Sorry.
Get out.
Sorry.
7 races.
Feelings.
Yeah, mega bike, mate. Mega.
11 races in the last 2 years, mate, and it's won 11 of them.
So that's the same bike as Michael Rode won the classic last year. Yeah. So yeah, same bike, same spec. So mega.
So you're going to go and do a little shake down there?
Just going to make sure it's all safe for you to run. And then you can really smoke it up.
We'll put down a lap time there for.
No.
Don't put a lap time there down now. And you got 3 laps, mate. So make the best of it.
It'd be interesting though, because obviously you got your road bike, haven't you? And then riding on this, it'd be.
Yeah, I won't want to get back on my bike. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, I'll do the next one, then I'll go to the beer tent and wait for you.
Sweet. See you then, mate.
Yeah. Do you want a cold one?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
What's your temperature if they keep you holding down the bottom?
Yeah.
If it gets above about 85, just kill it with red switch there.
Sure.
And then that one there starting. Awesome. Have fun, mate.
Thank you, mate.
And here we are then on board the Team Classic Suzuki SRAD. And man, if I thought my bike was faster, then this is next level. My Botti dyno suggests around 140 brake horsepower, but look at the difference in corner speed. It's got the chassis and the corner speed to match it. And a lot of it's to do with slick, sure, but the racing suspension and just the chassis in general, all those factory parts dripping off this bike. Down with the back straight. The first thing I notice here is just how short geared this is, and it's got the close ratio gearbox as well. So I'm using all 6 gears and just dabbing the brakes here. And Danny weighs as much as my ball bag, so the front suspension was a little bit soft, or way too soft for me, but it doesn't matter, you can still carry loads of corner speed. And just the way it holds a line, it's just night and day from my bike. Obviously it's like I said, it's just dripping with exotic factory parts, and I was just able to jump on this bike straight away, and it felt so easy to ride fast straight away. I felt like I could race it tomorrow. Like I said, down here into the brakes again, a little bit careful. You do not want to be bringing this bike back on a trailer in the walk of shame back in the trailer. Just again, just be super careful through this tight section because the front's just bottoming out. And into the mountain section, and just again look at the difference in corner speed and how I'm able to carry the speed up. Okay, just take it a little bit easier in the mountain. Do not want to twist it up here. But man, it was just so much fun, and like I said, I could just jump on it and ride fast straight away. It was super intuitive, and a massive thank you to the guys at Team Classic Suzuki for allowing me to take this puppy out. I felt super privileged. So I also promised that I wouldn't take it over 12 grand, so I was being relatively careful and trying not to be too brutal with it. But what we'll do now is we'll leave you to a lap of Cadwell Park without me waffling, so you can enjoy the soundtrack of the SRAD.
So once again, joined by Nathan Clumby of Team Classic Suzuki. Nathan, it's fair to say you know your way around these bikes?
Yeah, I've been working on these since about '96. So
okay,
yeah.
So it's the age of this bike then?
Pretty much so, yeah, absolutely, yeah. This was 2 years into me starting at Suzuki GB. This bike came out and blew everybody away, yeah.
So, okay, well there's one thing that kind of, again, like the SRAD came out, when the SRAD came out, blew a lot of people away. This thing has blown me away today. Just purely, I mean, it's a bit of a triggers broom. It's a bit of a dog. This isn't. But the power, the exhaust single-handedly has just put a load of mid-range in this bike. And look, I'm not saying it's anything like this, but this, your SRAD hits hard and then continues revving where this sort of dies out. What exactly? I mean, is it a 750?
It's a 7. Oh, I don't actually know. You put me on the spot there. It's 1 mil oversized basically.
Right, okay,
For the TT rules,
yes.
You're allowed 1.5 mil oversized. We run it 1 mil oversized because of the availability of the piston rings and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly what you're saying there is the work that we do on the engines on these. These have actually got the original factory heads from back in the day. They've got some really quite aggressive cams in there. You know, the engines they small slipper pistons and stuff. They really are tuned to. You know, these engines are akin to the BSB engines of the time. You know, they really were a lot different spec than you're allowed to run these days. These days you must run standard cranks, pistons, etc. Back in the era of this, you could really run pretty much what you wanted to, and that's what we've sort of continued now. So yeah, they does make them rev on really, really nicely.
And what sort of mileage do you get for the engines?
Depends who's riding them, to be honest with you. Yeah, depends. We actually down-tuned these engines just a little bit because this project that we brought about and running the 750s was to run at the Isle of Man for the classic TT.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won that last year, the 100th anniversary with Michael Dunlop on board. So again, there's no point.
Is it a 127 lap?
It's a 127 lap on that. Yeah.
On a 30-year-old bike.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, phenomenal. It did incredibly well.
Yeah.
We had 4 races before that in South Africa, which we won all 4, and 4 last year with Danny Webb on the bike, and again Danny won all 4 as well. So yeah, the bike's really proved itself. But in the same light, you know, we have to be there at the end of 4 laps, so there has to be a certain tolerance and stuff with that. And as you know, TT is the hardest race on bikes in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really have to sort of knock them back a little bit for that. But it makes them a really nice rideable bike.
And so you've got all these sort of, somehow managed to accumulate these factory parts. Like you've got a magnet on you for factory parts, Nathan. I don't know how you do it, but you know, where do, you know, things like the forks and the headstock and all these sort of bits come from, and how do you maintain them to look so new?
It's quite simply because they are new.
Right, okay.
It really is as simple as that.
Yeah.
The honest answer is, I mean, the problem when they started classic racing and they brought about, you know, having to run the side mount forks.
Yes.
It's quite simply side mount forks just do not exist anymore.
No.
We have the original factory forks which have got magnesium lowers. Now, while that's great for doing a couple of laps around Cadwell Park, you can't run magnesium around the TT. With the triple clamps, exactly the same. Sorry for the Americanism, but with the yokes, they're exactly the same. These are actually ones that we reproduce. So they're an exact copy of the original factory magnesium, but they're made in aluminium, so we can make as many sets of these as we want. They still look the dead right part, but we know they're 100% safe because they're brand new. It's as simple as that. Yeah, and the forks were made to look very much like the original factory showers, which were the fork that everybody ran back in the day.
Geometry wise, how different is it to my bike?
Yeah, no, it is massively different. It's probably the single biggest thing on it. You know, the engine is moved in the frame compared to your bike.
Okay.
We have the adjustable steering head angle. We can change the offset in the forks. We regularly play around with adjusting the swing arm height and stuff. So yeah, it's almost infinite chassis adjustment within this bike. Yeah.
Wow. Funnily enough, I'm actually in the market for some fairings, but these look a bit tasty. Is it? It's all carbon.
Yeah, this is full carbon Kevlar. It's an exact. We took a mould off one of the original XR09, which was the last factory fairings. So we've actually got the moulds for this now, the same as the carbon air intakes and stuff. So again, we can just produce them. We don't retail them.
No.
But we produce them for our own use, and we can, you know, again, we've got an infinite supply of them now.
And I noticed before I even rode the bike, in fact, when I saw it there, Paul Ricard last year, it's got a dry clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, why? That's
it's a good question.
It's just a factory thing.
It's the original factory part.
Okay.
It reduces the drag within the engine and stuff. Keeps the oil a lot cleaner because you're not contaminating it, and just the sound of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a period thing for the bike.
Yeah.
You know, for the TT, probably doesn't make a blind bit difference for over a wet clutch. However, when you start this up, it's like the old ball bearing in a baked bean can sort of thing.
Yeah.
It just
sounds
makes the bike special. You know.
Yeah. Well, the problem is now, Nathan, I am going to spend tomorrow on this, and I don't want to be riding this. So.
Yeah, sorry, Al, but there's nothing I can do about that, mate. You're on your own with that one.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for.
No problem at all. Pleasure.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Take care.
Well, that's it for Suzuki Live. What a weekend. I mean, just feel privileged to be part of the SRAD crew and see so many bikes here. It really is just a sign of the times. there's a lot of people enjoying themselves rather than chasing temps, and there was a few people chasing temps today or this weekend, but I'm just so happy my SRAD has made it. It's a big thank you to James at JHS, who's put countless hours into this, and thank you to you guys for the support. So many 44Teethers out here at Cadwell today, so yeah, looking forward to the next instalment, whatever that may be.